bell strikes, it's the sound of doom in a courtroom, crowded every face in gloom. Truth on trial under high spotlight, shadows dancing in the dead of night. Fingers pointing secrets to bear, lies entwined in the heavy air. The jury's watching, hearts break in two. Whispers tremble, but the facts won't do. Judge and jury, kings of fate, deciding lives on a silver plate. The verdict's echo rings out so loud, innocence buried lost in the crowd. Faint confession behind a cracked door, a stained glove tossed upon the floor. Law books close, though they never heal. Justice bent, but the scars stay real. Clock keeps ticking, truth on the line. Each tick weighs heavy, a paradigm. Chaos brews behind composure's mask. Answers buried in impossible tasks. Judge and jury, kings of fate, deciding lives on a silver plate. The verdict's echo rings on so loud, innocence buried lost in the crowd. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? How are you? How are you? Hope all is well on this day, June 27th, 2025. I'm trying to check my sound, guys. That's why I'm like pausing as I talk. Okay. My sound is good. Sound is good. Sound is up. It is pretty good. Hey Bush babies, how y'all doing? Hello, Lil K. I'm doing well. Today I'm actually doing my coverage during the day because I have plans later this evening. So I have to like get my coverage in. And I thought it would be a lot more interesting doing the coverage like as it's happening, because today Diddy's team is up to bat for their closing statements. Well, closing arguments. So let's hop right into it because I started late so that we'll have a lot to go over before lunch. And hopefully by the time I get to where they are in court currently, we'll skip the lunch break and they'll be back. Let's just hope. All right. So at 9:26 a.m., Judge Arun Subramanian says, so we have all our jurors. We'll start in 5 minutes. Then there's a note here. It says, meanwhile, Combs has been taken back into the holding cell by U.S. Marshals. He will be brought back in before the jurors are brought in. 9:28 a.m. The judge, all rise. The jurors enter. The judge, Mr. Agnifilo, are you prepared to proceed with the defense's closing? Combs' Mark Agnifilo, there is a trial set forth by the text messages. Then there is the trial out of the prosecutors' mouths. They are different. Hold on one second. Why don't I see the thread? Lord have mercy. Hold on, y'all. Why don't I see the thread? Hold on. Bear with me, guys. I actually logged on to get the update. Okay, let's see. View. All right. Hold on. Judge. Okay. Judge Submarinian. Before the defense closing, what about the laptop or of exhibits? AUSA. We are both still working on it. There are a lot of exhibits. The judge. Why don't we not give the laptop to the jury until Monday? Today, we have the defense, the rebuttal, and my charge. Judge, so deliberations will start Monday. I sent the parties my changes and the verdict forms. Combs's Garagos. May I confer with Mr. Agnifilo? Judge Submarinian. Of course. Combs's Garagos. About Mia, Mr. Agnifilo would like to show Exhibit 1727 on the easel. We redacted her name so that no one in the gallery can see her face. The government wants to put a post-it note over her face. The judge, how are you to place it? Test it. Combs' Garagos. The public can't see it, so it should be fine. Judge Submarinian, that's fine. Let's bring in the jury. After a little bit of time, the courtroom deputy. There is a juror with transit issues. And then he says, we're inquiring. The judge says, okay, we'll wait. And then I get back to where we were about we have all the jury. Okay, now let's continue. Combs' Agnifilo. The trial from the evidence, what is it? It is personal use. Rugs. That's all it is. That and swingers lifestyle. But the prosecutors have charged one of the most serious statutes on the books. They called threesomes and rugs. They charge threesomes and rugs as RICO. I want to thank you for your service to our country. I would love to speak with you for days, but it's Friday. I am trying to be efficient. I have to cover a lot of ground, but I'll focus on the most important part. Sean Combs. Sean Combs is a self made black entrepreneur. He has built real businesses that are so outstanding that others create partnerships with him. We heard that from Derek Ferguson. It is hard to be Sean Combs. How many witnesses said they were moved? The assistants were moved by Sean Combs. It was like Harvard Business School. He pushed me hard. Did they always like him? No way. Let's not even go there. Did they like him? No. But they loved him. Even the ones who are suing him. Mia, I'm not going to call her Mia because that's not her name. I'm going to call her the witness who testified as Mia. Remember, Derek Ferguson from the Bronx, he said there were not many hiring people like me from the Bronx. There's something more to these businesses. Sometimes the real things in life are hard. No one remembers the easy days. These people grew. It was real. It was diversity. These days, DEI, Combs was doing it at 24 years old. The prosecutors call his businesses racketeering. That's the fake trial. What happens? He gets arrested. They destroy his property. They have a SRT, CERT team, special response team. They are clandestine. Can't follow with a camera. Rampant, they ran. His kids were there. 6 of 7 in the second row. Oh, his kids are here. 6 of 7 in the second row. The 7th is an infant. This is who he is. The man takes care of people. Jane Doe came here and testified against him. Today, she's in a house he's paying for. And they found it. Boxes, of Astroglide, taken off the streets, and they got the baby oil and the personal use rugs. America is safer. 5 Valium pills. When you're doing work like that, you can't photograph. We can't photograph you. That's the evidence. What do? They wrap yellow crime scene tape, figuratively, around his bedroom, around the hotel rooms he goes to with his girlfriends. That's a lot of crime scene tape. The crime scene is your private Smex life. No one called 911. They called civil plaintiff lawyers. This case is about money. Cassandra Cassie Ventura sues Sean Combs for $30 million because he has $30 million. If he doesn't have it, no civil lawsuit and no criminal case. Why am I not getting an update? Where is it? Oh my gosh, this is kind of harder than I thought, guys. I don't see an update here. Let's see. Did I catch all the way up? Because they did have a break. Oh my gosh. I will be so sad. No, there's no way I caught all the way up. Let me refresh. Welcome, welcome everyone. How are you? We are following along today with Inner City Press as the defense puts on their closing arguments. Okay, let me go back to his page. Inner City Press. This case is about 5 minutes. It's about love. Love has been said more than 800 times in this trial. The DV, we own it. We did not ask Ms. Ventura about being hit, kicked, or dragged. We did not cross Jane Doe about it either. But DV is not charged. If he was charged with that, he would have pled guilty. He did that. But he did not do racketeering, conspiracy, and smex trafficking. He did not smidnap or bribe anyone. No one called 911. Are we actually caught up? Hold on, y'all. I think we've caught up. Oh no. Did they go to lunch now? Oh, Jesus. Y'all, they probably went to lunch. Let's see if he says that. Okay, hold on. This is so irritating to follow on this website. So we did catch up, I think. Let me double check and triple check myself. I think we caught up. But lifestyle, da da da. Hang on, guys. Let me take a little vibe break real quick. Vibe with me to the channel music so I can figure out where the rest of this is. Gavel strikes, it's the sound of doom in a courtroom, crowded every face in gloom. Truth on trial under high spotlight, shadows dancing in the dead of night. Fingers pointing secrets to bear, lies entwined in the heavy air. The jury's watching, hearts break in two. Whispers tremble, but the facts won't do. Judge and jury, kings of fate, deciding lives on a silver plate. The verdict's echo rings oh so loud. Innocence buried lost in the crowd. Faint confession behind a cracked door. A stained glove tossed upon the floor. Law books close, though they never heal. Justice bends, but the scars stay real. Clock keeps ticking, truth on the line. Each tick weighs heavy, a paradigm. Chaos bruised behind composure's mask. Answers buried in impossible tasks. Judge and jury, kings of fate, deciding lives on a silver plate. All right, I'm gonna switch over to CNN, y'all, because I don't know what's going on with Inner City Press. Thank you guys for your patience, but I'm gonna switch over to CNN because, like I said, I'm not really sure what is going on with Inner City Press. So, attorney Mark Agnifilo has turned back the topic to Mia. Let me go back to make sure I didn't skip any of this. All right. Defense Mark Agnifilo begins his defense of Sean Combs today, arguing that the prosecution exaggerated its case and that the evidence only showed a swinger's lifestyle. He also said, "This isn't about crime, this is about money," referencing civil lawsuits against the mogul. Prosecutor's case yesterday, jurors heard from the prosecution, which described Combs as the leader of a criminal enterprise who could get away with his alleged crimes for years because of his money and fame. Now, what happens? Following the defendant's closing arguments, prosecutors will be allowed to give a rebuttal. After that, the case is handed over to the jury. Federal charges: Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that include racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. If convicted on all counts, he could face up to life in prison. I want to see all. So this is 7 minutes ago. Let's see. I think this is 34 minutes ago. All right, let me go back. I gotta go all the freaking way back. Lord have mercy. 1 hour, 20 minutes. CNN is, okay, hour, 30 minutes. Agnifilo told the jury that Clark, okay, that's different. I didn't read that. 2 hours, okay. All right. Sean Diddy Combs' defense team takes the stage. Okay, center stage. All right, here we go. All right, now here we are. Let's go. We own the DV, defense attorney Mark Agnifilo said repeatedly. He said they didn't run away from it or challenge the two ex-girlfriends who testified against Sean Diddy Combs, Cassie, or Jane about it. I don't think we asked her a single question to challenge anything she said about being hit, being kicked, being dragged, Agnifilo said about the cross examination of Cassandra Ventura. Of course, they couldn't question her. There's video evidence. They'd look foolish questioning her. So that's not like, oh, yeah, he didn't ask her. He could not ask her about being kicked, punched, or dragged because there's a video that the entire world saw. The issue is DV, Agnifilo said of Combs's relationship with Ventura. He referenced a social media statement Ventura made after CNN published the video. She was very poised and very clear about what the issue was for her. Agnifilo said the issue for her, who was there, DV is the issue. When she says DV is the issue, I'm asking you to believe her, Agnifilo said. Agnifilo told the jury that between Combs and Ventura, who sued Combs in November 2023, before the suit was settled the next day, Ventura won. Agnifilo said the suit demanded $30 million. Ventura, who has testified, stated that she settled for $20 million. If you had to pick a winner in this whole thing, it's not hard to pick Cassie, Agnifilo said. Pointing out that Combs is sitting in jail while awaiting the outcome of this trial. Combs and Ventura were not a part of a racketeering conspiracy, according to Agnifilo. It's a real relationship, and they were in love. Cassie's no joke, and that is why he loved her. She matched him. She was like him. Agnifilo called their relationship a great modern love story, telling the jury that they could cry at text messages Combs and Ventura exchanged, professing their love to each other. Ventura eventually made an adult choice to leave the relationship in 2018 and felt no pushback from Combs, Agnifilo said. She was always free to leave. She chose to stay because she was in love with him. Agnifilo addressed Combs's and Ventura's Smex life. She's a woman who actually likes Smex. Good for her. She's beautiful. She should. She's intense. She's unafraid. They were their best selves when it came to Smex. They fought when it came to other women, Agnifilo said. Out of the scores of text messages admitted into evidence in the trial, you won't find one where she's like, I didn't like that Smex. I'm not attracted to you. I don't like your Smex life. It's just not for me. Agnifilo said Ventura and Combs matched up when it comes to Smex. I guess you could call them swingers. I guess you could call it a lifestyle. So now he's trying to paint the picture that, they were both into this lifestyle and of swinging and Cassie having smacks with multiple men unprotected. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo reminded the jury that Kid Cudi confirmed that Cassandra Cassie Ventura played him. She played him good too. She played them both, Agnifilo said. He referenced the prosecution's argument that Ventura was scared of Combs. She lied to him for a long time, over and over and over, as she had another relationship with another singer, songwriter, under his nose. She's not afraid of him. Agnifilo called Cassie a gangster, pointing to the burner phone she used to stay in touch with Kid Cudi and saying she was trying to pull off lying to both men. I'm scrolling up, guys. Give me a second. Agnifilo next addressed the 2004 kid smidnapping allegation made by Capricorn Clark, who said she was smidnapped and held for 5 days of a lie detector test after Sean Diddy Combs' jewelry went missing. Clark is a little out there, Agnifilo said. Clark testified at the trial that she wanted her life back. The world Sean Combs created and is at the center of, that's the life she wants back. She said she couldn't get work in the industry after leaving Combs' employ. She also acknowledged that she reached out to Combs for work in the years after she stopped working for him. Agnifilo told the jury that Clark had a crush on Combs and wanted their platonic friendship to be more. Agnifilo recounted Clark's testimony about the lie detector testing when she said a large man 5 times her width threatened to throw her in the East River if she didn't pass. Agnifilo mocked the idea that prosecutors charged the 2004 alleged kidnapping as an underlying act for racketeering and conspiracy. Each day after hours of testing, Clark said one of Combs's security guards drove her home. Agnifilo likened the experience to the jury that spends long hours in this courtroom each day, then goes home. You're about as smidnapped as she was smidnapped. It's unsettling. That's the whole reason investigators used it. It's unsettling, Agnifilo said. I have no doubt she was unsettled, but she was not smidnapped. Agnifilo said that Combs had a starring role in A Raisin in the Sun around the time of the lie detector test. He's starring on Broadway. He's involved in the middle of a very significant voter-driven campaign called Vote or Unalive. He is running all these companies. Do you think he's waiting on the edge of his seat? How's that lie detector test coming back? I can't wait to see if she passes, Agnifilo said. He couldn't care less. He had nothing to do with it. He may not have had anything to do with it. However, why was it applied after his jewelry went missing? Who sanctioned it? Who ordered it? Who actually requested that Capricorn and also, I believe, another assistant take these lie detector tests? Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo recounted. Let's see, hold on. The kidnapping allegation made by former Diddy Combs employee Capricorn Clark, who said Combs came to her home with a pum-pum, brought her to rapper Kid Cudi's house in December of 2011. Agnifilo said that Clark was probably so honored that Combs finally came to her house for the first time. If he asked her to take a trip to the moon, she'd go, and he knows that. He doesn't need a pum-pum, Agnifilo said. He pointed out that Kid Cudi testified that Clark didn't mention, hold on a second, y'all, didn't mention a pum-pum when she called them that day. Had Capricorn Clark said pum-pum, Cudi would have remembered pum-pum. You're not gonna forget a pum-pum. Pum-pum's one of the fair words in our language. Kid Cudi also didn't mention a pum-pum to the responding police officer, Agnifilo said, adding that the officer wrote up the incident as a trespass. Okay? That's how the officer wrote it up, as a simple trespass. Not a B&E, but it was a B&E based on Capricorn Clark's testimony. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo knocked Capricorn Clark's credibility and the validity of her story. He said Clark had to lie about the Pum Pum, so it didn't seem like she was helping Sean Diddy Combs. She doesn't want to give the impression that she's like part of this her own her own violation. The defense attorney acknowledged that Combs was at Kid Cudi's house that day. He acknowledged that the responding officers caught the Escalade license plate that linked to Sean Combs' company. Agnifilo said the incident shows that Combs is a fighter who would look for a good old fashioned fist fight to confront Kid Cudi. So I'd be out of it'll be out of character for Combs to plot a car bombing. There is no evidence that he had anything to do with the Porsche. Blowing up the car of a rapper Kid Cudi would have been a coward's way out, defense attorney Mark Agnifilo said. He's gonna fight. He was gonna fight him. He's not gonna blow up his car, he said, referring to Sean P. Diddy Combs. Agnifilo said that the investigation into the arson was a terrible investigation, asserting that the investigator didn't know what happened to fingerprints that were recovered. He underscored the investigator's testimony that a partial DNA profile from the scene was consistent with a female. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo is pacing back and forth in front of the jury box as he makes his presentation. He's straying from the microphone as he speaks, making him difficult to hear at times. At the same time, Sean Diddy Combs is very fidgety, tapping his foot on the floor under the table, shaking his legs, fidgeting with his hands. He appears to have nervous energy. His face also looks stoic today. He had passed a note to his attorneys. Assistant United States Attorney Maureen Comey has rolled her eyes more than once and had a smirk through Agnifilo's closing. Attorney Xavier Donaldson on Combs' defense team had his head in his hand at one point. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo said the instances of Sean Diddy Combs' offering the Intercontinental Hotel personnel money following the 2016 assault of Cassandra Ventura was about preventing bad publicity and was not a bribe under relevant law because there was no law enforcement investigation and Combs wasn't trying to hinder a law enforcement investigation. Agnifilo said police were nowhere near the situation at the hotel and Ventura didn't want police involvement. He said law enforcement only came hours later to an apartment because Combs was banging on the door. Agnifilo referenced Combs's repeated attempts to reach Ventura after she left the hotel. He's calling her and she's freezing him out, as she should, he said. He's just trying to get her attention. Sean Diddy Combs did not witness tamper in the case of Mia in 2023 and 2024. During the federal investigation, his attorney Mark Agnifilo said. The defense attorney suggested the government misled the jury when it suggests D-Rock, the former head of Combs' security, was trying to give Mia money to influence her. Agnifilo showed the jury text messages they'd seen earlier in the trial from a conversation between Mia and D-Rock when she told him she was out of money. D-Rock responded offering Mia help if she needed it. Agnifilo did not address the other reach outs from D-Rock and Combs to Mia during the ongoing federal investigation. So he's just slipping it in there and trying to like gloss over it. Watch. I promise you the prosecution is going to come back and point out those other instances. When Sean Diddy Combs entered, hold on, let me make sure I am, okay, hold on. Are we caught up? Are we caught all the way up? No, we're not. We're not caught all the way up. Hold on. Oh, okay. It says when Diddy came into the courtroom this morning, he blew kisses in the direction of his family. All 6 of his adult children are in attendance, and the 3 sons and 3 daughters are seated in the second row behind him. Also there are his mother and his sister. Fahim Mohammed, Combs' security chief, who prosecutors said is a part of the alleged conspiracy, is seated with the family. Oh, so Fahim showed up to support. Okay. He's there. Okay. Let's see. Where is... This is a lot of filler. I guess they did all of this filler just because Agnifilo. Yeah, the jury is taking a break. Here's what the defense has said so far during their arguments. I'm not going to read that because we just read what he said. Like, the judge is back. I'm not going to go over that again. When they return, the judge tells the jury they should not consider prosecutors' charging decisions. Before the break, Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey asked the judge to give hold on. I just messed up my spot, guys. Hold on, bear with me. Give corrective instructions to the jury regarding the issues in Attorney Mark Agnefilo's closing statement. She said Agnifilo improperly asked the jury to consider why the prosecutors charged a particular RICO predicate and stated the Intercontinental video shows a misdemeanor assault. She also said he improperly suggested that Combs was charged with crimes like arson and kidnapping when they're actually included as predicates to the racketeering count. Judge Arun Subramanian said those issues were grossly improper, particularly the one questioning charging decisions. The judge said he would give the jury a curative instruction addressing that issue. When the jury returned, Submarinian told them there was a suggestion in the defense's closings that they should consider prosecutors' charging decisions. It would be improper for you to consider such matters in your deliberations, and you should disregard those comments, he said. The judge also told the jury that he would be the one instructing them on the law in this case. Yeah, he would be. Right? Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo has resumed his closing arguments following the break and following the judge instruction to the jury that it should disregard a suggestion in the defense's closing, and that it should not consider prosecutors' charging decisions. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo turned back to the topic of Mia, a former Sean P. Diddy Combs employee who testified using a pseudonym of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse alleged from her through Diddy. Mia testified with a false persona in court, Agnifilo said. He said the bubbly person in the birthday video that the jury watched is Mia's true personality. And Mia falsely testified that Combs sexually assaulted her according to Agnifilo. This was not unwanted sexual contact, Agnifilo said. Mia testified that Combs sexually assaulted her on multiple occasions. She testified that Combs raped her and on another occasion forced her to perform oral sex on him. Agnifilo told the jury that Combs and Mia had consensual sexual contact, and the jury should believe that because they saw a text from Combs to Mia when he threatened to tell Cassie Ventura about it, Cassie doesn't know about it, and Mia doesn't want Cassie to know about it, Agnifilo said. Agnifilo questioned why Combs would threaten to tell Ventura something he wrongfully did to Mia. Agnifilo referenced positive social media post that Mia posted about Combs, asserting that was how she really felt. He showed the jury the scrapbook Mia created for Combs' 45th birthday and called it an act of love. He then showed the jury a photo Mia posted of a group of people, including several of Combs' employees, like Chief of Staff Christina Coram and members of the security team. Think of a word or phrase that comes to mind. Think of a word or phrase that comes to mind. Joy, family, home, belonging. Agnifilo asked, Racketeering enterprise? This this is your racketeering enterprise, folks? Mia worked for Combs from 2009 to 2017. Ventura dated Combs around 2007 to 2018. Mark Agnifilo began his defense. Wait a minute. Hold on. What's going on in the court? Diddy Combs' defense brings closing arguments. Yeah, I know. Are we caught up? We are caught up. Okay, awesome. So we're caught all the way up, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not digging it. I'm not jacking it. I mean, he's trying. Hey, Libby Lou, I will say he's trying. He's trying and he's doing his best. Can you buy me a... Let me just, hold on. There's your iPhone. There you go, little K. There's your iPhone, honey. I hope you like it. But I think that he's he's trying to challenge the prosecution as best he can, but I think just his sheer demeanor of pacing back and forth, like they said, it's making it hard to actually hear what he's saying at times. I think that's a bit telling to me that maybe that's being done purposely so that the jury, can kind of be a little disoriented watching him sway back and forth, as well as not hear every word coming out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's also a tactic for the prosecution to potentially not hear every word coming out of his mouth. But clearly it didn't work because the prosecution called him square to the mat and let him know, like, hey, listen, you are not, and I repeat, you are not going to, what you call it? You're not going to play with me. We're not going to play those reindeer games. You're not going to say whatever it is you want to say and try to sway the jury in any way. Hold on, y'all. I'm checking. Checking to see where we are. Okay, so it doesn't look like he's back. Let me see. Question mark. Okay, so it looks like there's somebody else that I can look to for these updates because I don't know what's going on with my boy Inner City Press. I don't know. So let's go ahead and switch, y'all. Let's go ahead and switch. Is this her? Okay, here we go. Right handle, like something I can blindly. Hold on now. Give me a moment. I'm trying to find us another stream. I'm trying to find us another stream, guys. This is crazy. Okay. Da 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 da. Okay, so I found another stream. Yay! Now, this streamer starts off with her take. Her take is the prosecution has a very strong case on 2 transportation for prostitution counts. They have a strong case on RICO and SMEX trafficking of Cassie, which carries a 15-year mandatory minimum in jail. She says they have a weak case on SMEX trafficking of Jane Doe. Okay, that's fair. I actually, to be honest, I agree with her. I agree with her 1,000%. I think that Jane Doe is not really similarly situated. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm not saying that he didn't do the same and or similar things to her. I'm just saying that Jane Doe is not similarly situated. However, the thing of it is to me, in my opinion, is that we have to remember that Jane Doe was after Cassie. And then after the lawsuit happened, I'm sure that Diddy realized and or understood by that point that he had to kind of do what he started doing, recording phone calls, sending voice notes, sending text messages to kind of create a scenario and or like paint the picture that, you know, they were consenting adults. He had to. I mean, I don't think he had any other choice but to do that. So I get that, you know, people, especially people who are following this case, are saying that, you know, they are not similarly situated. But I want everybody to consider the fact that even though they're not similarly situated and he's paying Jane Doe's rent, he's taking Jane on trips and things of that nature, I want people to just, for a second, consider the fact that while he did all of these things for Jane, bought her lavish gifts, and, you know, all of this other stuff, I think there's a reason why he did that. I think there's a reason why he he started to pay her rent. I think there's a big reason why he's still paying her rent. Because isn't it better for his attorney to be able to go into the courthouse today and say, as a matter of fact, Diddy is still paying Jane's rent to this day. That's a better argument versus he stopped paying her rent once they broke up, or he's not fulfilling the quote unquote love contract. They apparently have a contract together where he's required to take care of her rent. And it's a verbal agreement between the two of them. So that's what their relationship has kind of centered around this um what is it? That's this love contract. Okay, so we're cooking with butter now, y'all. We got a better update stream. Shout out, shout out. Okay, let's see. Let me keep going back. I'm gonna go back. A lot of dirty talk. Okay, hold on. Did Sean Combs really possess rugs? Hold on. Showing his Instagram pro. Okay, here we go. Photo of Mia. Da, 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 da. This is where we were. That's where we were. All right, now the next update. Did Diddy possess rugs? Absolutely, his lawyer said. He obviously has a rug problem. But Mark Agnefellow pushed back on allegations that Mr. Combs ran a racketeering conspiracy responsible for possession of rugs with the intent to distribute. This is personal use rugs. Mr. Agnafilo suggested that the serious federal charges were exaggerated. A lot of dirty talk in this case, Mark Agnafilo said to the jury as he turned his attention to the SMEX trafficking charges against Diddy. You guys remember this. I know you do. Instead of going through all of the text messages, again, Mr. Agnafilo said he would tell the story of Mr. Combs and Cassandra Ventura's relationship. This is his personal life, he said. They are swingers. But SMEX trafficking? I suppose you can SMEX traffic your girlfriend if you sell her into prostitution? But Mr. Combs was not making money from these arrangements. He added, discussing Ms. Ventura and Sean Combs's SMEX life, Mark Agnafilo tried to get the jurors to relate to the idea of making compromises for their romantic partner. Your likes and their likes become one, he said. That's actually what love is. And that's what is going on with Cassie. He described Miss Ventura as having sexual confidence in another effort to undercut the presentation of her as a victim. She is not clutching her pearls. He said, what? He said she is not clutching her pearls. Mark Agnafilo came to slay today. My mother was so happy I became a lawyer, Mark Agnafilo remarked before reading an especially graphic set of sexual text messages Cassie Ventura sent to Sean Combs before the assault at the Intercontinental Intercontinental Hotel. If I could talk today, I would be just fine, guys. The defense is working to establish a different narrative of Sean Combs's 2016 assault on Cassandra Ventura. The prosecution argued that Mr. Combs beat her up because she left a FO and said he was dragging her back to the room. Mark Agnifilo argued that the assault was not related to Smex, but a phone, showing a snippet of the hotel surveillance video in which Combs snatches a phone from Miss Ventura. Mark Agnifilo focused on micro details of the much seen hotel tape that has been played at the trial before, turning to the set of text messages between Cassandra Ventura and Sean Combs in the aftermath of the hallway beating. The defense has maintained throughout the trial that Mr. Combs had taken a bad batch of rugs, a detail that was arguably alluded to in their messages. He says, in a towel in a public hallway way too long, Mr. Agnifilo said, implying that Mr. Combs was not in his right mind. Way too long. What the hell? Praising the 2018 dinner between Diddy and Cassie that she testified ended with him raping her. The defense lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, is attempting to undermine Ms. Ventura's timeline. Reading text messages between the two from around that time, Mr. Agnifilo argued that the SMEX was consensual and that Ms. Ventura changed her story when her now husband found out the former couple had been intimate. On the stand, Ms. Ventura had said there were two separate incidents with Mr. Combs after their breakup: a grape and later an instance of consensual sex. Mark Agnifilo pointed out an interesting part of both Cassandra and Jane's time on the stand. When it came to Diddy's desires to watch his girlfriends have sex with other men, Ms. Ventura noted that Mr. Combs seemed to have a personal shame about it, and she felt responsible for carrying it. Jane testified that she felt wary of judging him for the things I noticed in these rooms about his behavior and the things that he liked. Mr. Agnifilo is trying to reframe lurid accusations of sex trafficking into complicated and even fascinating intimate relationships. When you think of sex trafficking, Is it what you think of? He asked. We are now on the lunch break until 1:45. What time is it, y'all? It's 1:15. Dang, we caught up. We caught up. We are caught up over here, y'all. Now, do y'all want me to stay live or do y'all want me to... Let me see. I think I'm probably, to be honest with you, I'll probably get off and come back because like 1:45, that's in almost a half an hour. Yeah, I think I'll get off and come back, guys. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So if you are not already, hey, Lisa says what? If you are not already subscribed to the channel, no, I'm not gonna stay because they're on lunch break. And I don't want to, I personally, I want to keep it very like, how do I say this? Like, I don't want to do like the internet banter, like, you know, like, oh my God, I can't believe da, 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 da. I want to give my honest opinions at the end of his closing arguments. I want to hear everything that his defense is coming with. I want to hear the rebuttal. I want to hear everything before we have any type of further discussion about the proceedings today. So that's why I'm going to get off. But if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing today. Be sure to set your notifications to all so that you're notified when I go live or add new content. And guys, I will be back around, because I want them to get back from lunch. And I want to have like maybe 3 to 4 updates for you guys. So 2:45 Eastern Standard Time. 2:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I give it a good hour, we'll have a whole lot of updates. All right, y'all. I'll catch you on the next one. Oh, wait. I can't leave. I can't leave. I can't leave without playing my song. I cannot leave without playing the channel anthem. Gavel strikes, it's the sound of doom in a courtroom, crowded every face in gloom. Truth on trial under high what light, shadows dancing in the dead of night. Fingers pointing secrets to bear, lies entwined in the heavy air. The jury's watching, hearts break in two. Whispers tremble, but the facts won't do. Judge and jury, kings of fate, deciding lives on a silver plate. The verdict's echo rings oh so loud, innocence buried lost in the crowd. Faint confession behind a cracked door, a stained glove tossed upon the floor. Law books close, though they never heal. Justice bends, but the scars stay real. Clock keeps